Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy, and I'm joined this week by the matte varnish version of Mikey. Mikey! Hello, Mikey. Are you gonna dry up in a very matte way, or will you be very glossy?
Just pictured matte now. Like our matte.
No, not our matte. It's matte with two T's and an E. Actually, no, matte does have two T's.
Yeah.
It's just an E, yeah.
Yeah. But that's just what's popping into my head now, so thank you for that.
You've got to know about vat and gloss, when you get your spraying down.
True, but I've just got an image of him. I prefer matte myself.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Gloss does have it. Gloss has its place, but I think if you just spray everything with gloss, it can look pretty shitty.
I noticed, gloss is one of those things I'm kind of like, cool, but it's just, I don't like the... I like the... light catching effect does work for me at times, but I prefer the matte effect, because the matte effect means that what you've put down is what's coming through. Like, I think it doesn't give a false impression of how the colors went on, which I think gloss can.
I always felt that gloss can look a bit like cheapy and like knockoffy sometimes, especially if you just like cake it in and you go, ugh. It looks like one of those toys that you get from B&N or B&M or like one of the other kind of cheap place where you go, oh, here's a knockoff Transformer. Oh, it's glossy. Oh, it's because if I squeeze it slightly, it will explode.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Speaking of news, we're talking about Transformers this week. I didn't add it to the story because it's just came in. I'll put it in the chat, but we got a look at the Nitro Convoy's packaging.
Yeah,
and
I
don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm kind of concerned about the Speedia 500 collection. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it look more like What If Legacy, but Cybertron. But
I don't know. But what's that mean?
And who's going to be in the rest of this collection?
Yeah, I don't mind there not being plastic cover, but it does look kind of weird that there's no plastic covers in there anymore.
Yeah.
Can you just steal this figure in particular? Unless it's held down.
Few you could do that with.
Yeah, because with this, if you just took in nippers, you could nip off the very exposed wires, and then you could probably, depending if there are any more wires, you could just feed this, pull this out through the big gap in the box potentially.
Yeah,
not telling people steal, obviously. But just saying it could happen. We've seen a lot of dubious things over the years with Transformers being replaced with clearly not the right Transformer for return. So I could see that happening here.
I saw that with a Jurassic, the Hammock Collection thing. Someone swapped out one of the dinosaurs with one of the older dinosaurs. The thing is, the older dinosaur cost 40 quid. And the Hammond Collection one cost 20.
Oh, so they're dumb.
Yeah, because I kind of get it because oh well, it's a better figure. It is, because the older one is a 40 quid bare movement special effects kind of thing. It's a gimmick toy. Yeah. But it's so you bought the 40. You've clearly held on to this for 2 years because it's a couple of years old. You've now put it in a box to swap it out and lose $20, quid.
Wouldn't it be better to try and sell it? And then, you could sell it for the same price as the one that you want, right?
Yeah. You could sell it for more. You could get two.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but that would require effort.
I guess it seems odd. Maybe it's just a bad move that they didn't realize at the time. They're never mind. Anyway, I wanted to throw that out there because I just saw it poop up and I went, oh, all right, well, fair enough. We're going to kick off today's news with Transformers X G-Shock Back to the 80s collection promotional video and images. Whoa, check it out, Mikey. Do you like the Casio G-Shock watch? We know you do. Well, we're bringing Transformers to the Casio watch series. Ho ho! Stand back, there's an Optimus Prime one for all you leaders of the Autobots out there. You want to scout out the enemies? We got Bumblebee coming up behind you. You want to dominate the universe? Well, here comes Megatron. Watch out now! So yeah, there are specific watches done by G-Shock. Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, now I want one.
Do you? Oh, no, you don't. Don't lie. The question is, do any of these Transformer have light-up gimmicks? They do not. What is the theming? The band has a Bumblebee-themed strap, for whatever that means. The watches are color-coded. Let's just say color-coded to make it easier, to be representative of the person they're representing. And they come in a weird globe Cybertron shell thing. I know nothing about fancy watches. It's like fancy cars. I know what a car is. I know how to use a car. But I do not know what makes a car fancier than other cars apart from it go faster. I don't know what makes a watch fancier. It all tells the time. It's just bigger. And I don't see any information on here to explain why these watches are sick as shit. But Mikey, you're a smart boy. You've got a doctorate and everything like that. You are literally a doctor, so you should know about watches.
True. And I play. This is weird, but I do play a D&D game where I play someone who knows about watches. I don't.
Oh my god!
I have not learned anything from his ways, but
mostly
because I just kind of turned him into a sarcastic lute-playing lunatic who accidentally took over someone's mind and made him murder his two fellow friends.
So you were playing yourself. I got you.
I didn't mean to get them killed. It was supposed to be a distraction.
That's what you say as well.
It was supposed to be a distraction. They got distracted.
I know you had very specific professors who taught you very specific skills, but those are not the skills you should learn from them.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, does Hasbro or Takara or someone have, like, a long-standing deal with G-Shock? Because this is the second time this has happened, although the last time was, like, a robot where you put a watch in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was a little bit more fancy, wasn't it, technically?
Yeah, well, like, they had to engineer, like, a whole robot, and, like, it was a charging station or something. I like how the Optimus paint looks like it's bleeding on the package.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
These really fall into the... Why is it Marvel art? This really falls into the... Oh, it's 80s inverted commas 80s team. It just, for me, falls into the category of, we just took a color scheme and now put, like, the words more than meets the eye in it, and therefore it's Transformers. I am amused by the fact this is like, do you remember the 80s? Do you remember G1? Here's a picture of a tank. That's Megatron. If
you're spending a lot of money on a watch, are you going to get a Transformer-themed one?
I'm not.
I don't know.
I mean, I kind of like the planet that opens up to hold your watch. I think that's kind of neat.
It's neat. It's rather large and cumbersome, but
it's got, like, it's a planet made of watches.
Which is a little bit of a weird thing. So does this mean that Cybertron is a watch, or an amalgamation of watches, and every now and again it poops out a new watch?
I mean, what... Unicron was a black hole, so...
Was he?
That one time they pretended that it was a black hole, yes.
Oh, the one time. Okay, right.
When they pretended that this was all intended and it was all a purposeful...
Was that the Marvel comic version, or was
that was Cybertron?
Version? That was Cybertron. Okay,
hang on.
Was it Cybertron, or was it Energon? Was it... Oh, you mean Energon?
No. I mean Cybertron, because remember in Galaxy Force there's a big black hole that's eating the universe?
Oh, that was Unicron. That's right, yes.
In Cybertron, they retconned that to Unicron for 5 seconds.
That's right. Also, and in Galaxy Force, it was just a black hole, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the black hole or something like that. By the way, I remember watching Cybertron back in the day when it started airing, and I remember being very confused, apart from the fact that this is telling me it's a sequel and no one is acting like they've ever been on Earth before. But also, why is it episode 1, everyone's already on Earth, and I seem to be in the middle of something? And I realized they aired them out of order.
They did for some reason, yeah.
I mean, I didn't see the proper episode 1 for like 3 weeks.
There were issues. Yeah, here's the thing, which, Prime had its problems with scheduling, but I don't think it released episodes out of order. I think Teen Titans did, though, didn't it? Teen
Titans had, up until season 2-3, had freedom to do that.
Yeah, that was the thing with that. Like you say, it didn't matter
But,
if
like,
they were completely out of order.
I remember first season once they started bringing in the Slade stuff. Originally that was supposed to end the season. I think they like aired it in the middle of their run, and then they added some standalones after that.
What?
Because
No.
because it was supposed to be, the end. That
Yeah.
was such a good thing where you're just like, I'm going to be a father now, Robin. I already have a father, and you just have bats flying by, and it's the only time you ever reference bloody Batman in the whole show.
Yeah, it was good. That was a good show, just generally. Teen Titans was fantastic. Even though it doesn't, not every episode is perfect, and season 1 has its ups and downs. It got really good.
It got really good. And it brought in so many wild characters, and it used Wally!
Yeah.
Didn't use Bart. It didn't pretend it was like a young Barry, just used Wally. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do.
I think the only bad thing was it felt like it was basically going to do its own like Teen Titans Justice League at the end of the series, and they go, and we're done. And it's like, no.
I would say a bad thing is they clearly did not know what to do with the terror storyline by the end of it, and I think they dropped the ball pretty hard with that final episode.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of her being brought back either.
Well, was she brought back?
Yes, because
or
at
was
the end
that
of that
just,
episode...
Was that just Beast Boy being weird and obsessive? I remember the weird and obsessive stuff, but I don't remember any confirmation it was her.
I'm pretty sure she confirms it. She's just like, no, leave me alone. I want to pretend this. I'm pretty sure by the end of the episode that happened. But
I'm checking that because that used to annoy the hell out of me.
Because that would be really weird if it's just like, oh, Beast Boy was just I'm obsessing over a girl.
Because I remember it was like there was this girl who looked exactly like her, and then Beast Boy's like, "Are you her? Are you her?" And it was just like, Okay, so she claims to have no No, this is what it is. So, through the episode, he's shocked to find a girl that looks like Tara in a local school, seemingly unharmed. While she claims to have no recollection of her previous life, it's revealed a statue of Tara has gone missing. At the end, Beast Boy can't convince her, and all she says to him is let go of the past. So it's never formally confirmed.
Oh, okay.
So it is... You can read into it, but it literally could just be Beast Boy saw someone who... Maybe we're seeing it from Beast Boy's perspective, and she doesn't look that much like Tara.
God, just like a goatee beard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, this Tara. No. I like Mad Mod. Mad Mod was a good character.
Mad Mod was great.
He had the LSD episodes.
Yeah.
I really liked them.
LSD episodes in that show.
There were. Yeah, they were really neat. I liked them because they kind of reminded me of the... Do you remember in Sesame Street, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
Yeah.
They reminded me of that. And it reminded me a little bit of the end sequence of Count Duckula.
Oh my God.
Because they used the weird black and white newspaper clippings and animated them. So it had a bit of a vibe of that, but yeah, Teen Titans, that was a good show. And then we don't talk about Go because that was the beginning of the end for things that were good.
Yeah, people still tell me I should see the movie, and I'm just like, no. I don't know. I want one thing I do want to catch up on is the Owl House because season 2 wrapped up on that, and I really enjoyed season 1.
That's good. Okay.
So I need to check on that, but it's been a while since I keep track of Western animation. And what's coming out, and it is maybe 2 or 3 shows a year now. I at least want to try an episode of.
Okay.
People tell me I should try Young Justice again, and I'm just but I really didn't like season 1. It's not. I just did not gel with it, and I'm just I don't know. I did watch. I will talk about it later. I did watch 1 episode of Young Justice because I was curious.
What, a new one or an old one?
One.
You just wanted to see Razor, didn't you?
We'll talk about it.
You stinky little bitch. I know, you just wanted to see Razor. Get the fuck out of here. I won't be tempted. You can jingle your keys. Jingle your keys all you like. I will not come and suckle from your teat.
They killed off Wally West and told me it was because he was the weakest speedster. And
my God.
Oh boy.
Mikey's favorite speedster. Sorry, Brett. You're just shit, Mikey. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Not just a favorite, like, the stories keep going like, no, he's fucking terrifying. Just like, he eats Barry alive. And it's just like, no, he's so weak. He's so weak because he's not an Allen.
No one knows who
Only
Barry
the
is.
Allens
Oh,
are
sorry,
powerful.
Wally is.
No,
Yeah.
no one outside of the comics does. Because, you know why? Because every time they write Barry, they secretly write Wally.
It's the weirdest thing, because I know Wally because of, Justice League.
Mm.
So that he's my Flash. I'm not like gun-ho as you are. Like,
Well, you haven't
I
read
think
the
he's
books,
cool.
really, have you?
No, not really.
I've-
I've read Rebirth, and that was really about it.
That's okay. So you and I, one of these days, we're reading The Return of Barry Allen,
Okay.
which is that's a comic podcast. That's a Patreon thing. We're doing The Return of Barry Allen for one of our Patreons now.
Not
Or
the Return of Wally West.
No, it is. It is kind of The Return of Wally West, though.
Oh my god.
But it is like a 90s story that like Mark
okay.
Waid kicked ass. So
Wow.
he is 90 now, I believe. So.
Oh. See,
Yeah.
I tried Flash Rebirth because I was like, I liked Green Lantern Rebirth quite a lot, and I like Jeff Johns' run on that. But the Flash Rebirth didn't do a lot for me. I read it and was like,
I think Williamson did a good job at making Barry distinct from Wally, which a lot of writers hadn't. Like New 52 again wrote him very Wally-ish, and I think it was in like the latter half of his run where it really started to come together.
Okay.
I basically, again, kind of because he admitted he liked writing Wally a lot, and so was just working Wally in and was writing, like, his best stories are basically about Wally and Barry's current, like, conflict, and it's just a really good character study of the two of them. And it's just like...
When he said he liked writing Wally, did Dan DiDio stand up with a vein pulsating in his head, not knowing what was said, and got really angry and said, I must wreck Wally?
Do you want to know the actual answer to that?
Sure, yeah, why not? Go on.
After he said that, Dan DiDio did Heroes in Crisis.
Oh, and then fucked Wally, okay.
Yeah, and then he, like, because apparently Williamson had been pushing, like, I either want to make Wally the main Flash, or I want to write a second book with Wally.
All right.
And he was making some progress, and DiDio said, like, no! And then then basically told Tom King, like, oh, you have to use Wally as your villain for this book. And make it, like, the most pathetic way of murdering people.
Oh.
But make it brutal!
Yeah.
Brutal violence.
Was Dan DiDio the reason that Identity Crisis happened?
Yes.
Oh. Identity Crisis, oddly enough, was the comic that I was given to be introduced to the DC universe, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Obviously, because I didn't have any perspective on the DC universe, I didn't realize how, like, kind of egregiously awful it is in a lot of ways to those characters. Because I had no idea. I knew Justice League and stuff. I was just getting into the comic universe and my mind was open. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Not knowing, like, oh no, how are these characters acting like this? Why is there so much rape? I was just like, it's the comic version, so it's adulty, I guess. Rape. Woo.
Yay. Well, you'll be glad to know that since being fired from DC, because they had enough, Frank Miller hired him to take over Frank Miller Presents, which is his new comic book. What is Dan
DiDio presenting now?
That is, Frank Miller Presents our FMP is Frank Miller's new comic company.
Okay.
Now, Frank Miller, obviously someone who's made a lot of impressions in comic books, whose work I've never actually liked that much, because, I'd also who wrote some pretty bad books over the years.
Yeah.
And did some awful cover art for some comic books, like, oh boy. But yeah, like, I do kind of take the attitude to a lot of the so-called greats in the comic industry of just like, many of them have not aged well and are great for the same reason a lot of music is considered great after 30 or 40 years. It's that the people who are deciding what counts as great are now in their 30s or 40s. So, and I don't think a lot of those comics have aged fantastically.
No, I think it's fair to say that usually you can see why they were good at the time, though.
Yeah, I think Dark Knight Returns is historically significant.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
No, I think it was childish how he approached Superman. And I think what he did with Batman and Superman ingrained ideas in writers' heads that will not fuck off.
Was he the guy that did the first evil Superman?
No, because it wasn't evil Superman. Because it was like Superman working for the man, but losing his way. What he did was the first true proper Batman can beat anyone with enough prep.
All right, okay, I get you. Oh no,
it is all his fault.
Right, yeah.
And that is something that has basically helped contribute to Batman basically eating himself alive with his own hype to the point
Batman
where
being invincible.
Yeah, like I can't really safely feel comfortable reading a Batman book published in the last 10, 12 years because, especially since New 52, it's been published really under the onus of Batman is who we're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And which means we need 50 Batman books and we need to make him basically unbeatable. Like this is not because of who was involved in it, but it was just like it's so telling of what it is. Tom King writes a story, I remember this, where everyone's being controlled by Poison Ivy except Batman and Catwoman, like everyone.
Oh, I think I've heard of this one.
And then they go to confront her, and just before they get there, she sends Wally, Barry, and Wallace to try and stop them. And
Wallace?
Kid Flash.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Because this was before Bart came back, and he's Impulse at the moment. And somehow, Batman and Catwoman manage to perfectly time it that they can kick and clock the three of them.
What, like punch them?
No, they did kick.
Oh, kick, sorry.
So they kick out and clock the three of them in the head.
How? They're so fast. Wouldn't they just react to the kick?
They are mid-running.
Wouldn't they just, like if they kicked them mid-run, wouldn't their legs just explode?
Yes, because a superpower that gets referenced a lot frequently with the Flash is relative mass.
Right, yeah.
Because there's a thing called the infinite mass punch, which means the faster they go, the more mass their bodies have.
Yeah, it was used in Justice League against the Lex Luthor Brainiac combination.
Yeah, he basically ended up hitting harder than Superman because he was going so fast.
Don't say that, Mikey. Ooh.
So there is a moment where they do that and somehow manage to knock out the three of them in sync with perfect timing. And it's just like, that's what's wrong with Batman writing. You could have thought of anything else to do there. You could have thought that Batman knows that if you want to stop a Flash, you put yourself somewhere where it's hard to phase. Or, I have a super electric bomb that goes off at the exact right frequency or something like that. It's dumb and is part of the problem of Batman, but at least it's more sensible of, hey, I have perfect timing and can hit someone moving at least the speed of sound. And so can my girlfriend. Presumably because she's next to me and is absorbing my Batmanitude. Batmanitude.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, damned idea was scum. But no one
watches, Transformer watches.
Yeah,
wow, we went on
were
a
talking
tangent
about something a while ago. But they don't look good.
No, they don't.
They're not attractive. And the 80s aren't cool anymore. You ruined making the 80s cool in the last 5 or 6 years.
All you need to do is ignore the media, which I can do, and then I can still enjoy aspects of the 80s. Though whenever the media does it, it feels like a gimmick more than it does like an actual representation of the 80s, because of course it is, you know. Anyway, Mikey, do you want to take us on to talking about the coloured version of the Fans Hobby Prime?
So this is, flat prototype colours, so it's a long way from finished. But we do get to see a lot of shots of this dude. It is Fatimus. And I saw a video during the week of someone slightly annoyed going like, don't call him that. That gag's not funny. And I'm just like, it is.
But it doesn't need to be funny to be a name for him.
Yeah, because he has a weird torso because of how his kibble works more than anything else.
Yep.
So we get to see him in robot mode. We get to see a lot of posability shots. He has the basics. I think in basic mode, due to the features of his design, cannot do a lot of good looking poses. To the point where they want to use his waist swivel, you have to mistransform his back. Which is, listen, at least the engineering for the waist swivel and everything else is in there. but it is kind of like you do have to mistransform the figure. We then get to see the combiner limbs in their arm and vehicle configurations. It's our first time seeing them all. I think they look really good. Clearly they've reused a lot of parts in these, and it's just kind of the extra parts and stuff like that are a bit different. And I know they've got the drill, but I know the drill opens up to have a hand inside it for this version. And we also get to see the legs. The legs basically all look identical except again for the drill. And yeah, we see combine one. I think he looks really good. Again, he's one of those figures who very much is proportioned for this mode.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you still can't use a lot of the posability without mistransforming him. I wish they'd integrated that more into this mode, because now, ironically, you end up with him looking like he's too thin if you make him use his waist joint. But yeah, we also get to see the trailer. I think he looks good. I think he looks really fun. I hear the fans' hobby figures have generally turned out quite well. So
yes, yeah.
No, it looks very good. I just think it's cool. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's too much to say from the last time we saw it, because it did a load of poses when he was in the grey prototype. It was just more, I put it in just on the basis that now that we get to see it coloured, it's not painted, but we get a good representation of how the combined mode looks now with all the colours, and it does look a lot nicer, obviously, now that it's all coloured up with the correct colours. Obviously, it's got a little bit of tidying up to do with paint, when they apply all the paint taps and probably the numbers and whatnot on. But yeah, if you want a Energon Optimus Prime, this is literally your only option apart from the original version, as far as I'm aware, unless there's any other random ones that are floating about.
Yeah.
Is Hasbro going to do a new one anytime soon? I doubt it. He's not G1, so you can suck a cock. If we remember, the Galaxy Force version, or the Cybertron version, was still very G1-y. Because it was based off the Ultra Magnus, right?
It was the Ultra Magnus one modified into the Optimus.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
still like it, but it is one of those things where, like, proportion, certainly, it's just kind of like, okay, I can see the limitations here.
And you could tell it was a remold. It was very obviously a remold and not its own thing. So, yeah, I think if you want a dedicated version of this figure, this is the only way to go. Remember, when you take pictures of him uncombined, make sure you did what we did back in the day and put him in packets of crisps.
Yes.
It
Crying.
is the only way. Yes.
Going like,
Because he is, of course, he used to be part of one of the worst Transformer series. Used to be.
Yeah, that, I will admit, that title has been removed from him. He has lost that. Now, I'm sure that leads to a lot of sadness on his part.
Yes.
Because now he's just become a below-average Transformers series.
Yeah, it's
now
strange how things can go on, and the things that you thought were bad.
Now you're just a dude.
Yeah, you're just an average Transformer show now, which is sad to say.
You're just some nerd.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, there you go. Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Please don't.
Well, Mr. Mikey, we were talking about sexy lady Transformers at some point. So Dr. Wu is having an X time with Mechanic Toys. As they're doing a crossover or something, because it's Dr. Wu X Mechanic Toys MS-30 Amy. A-M-I-E. The weird way to spell it.
Lady Rec.
Yeah,
Amy.
I guess.
Amy has a toy now, everyone. It's official.
Official. This is a Legend Scale version of RC. Amy, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Her husband and children will be very confused they've shrunk her this much.
It happens. We know it's getting redone into Nightbird. They have some images of Nightbird, but we have mainly images of the RC figure. She can transform into a robot mode and to a vehicle mode. Does it look better than the official Hasbro versions? Arguably, yes. Does she still have a fat-ass backpack? Yes.
Yes.
Is it as egregious as the official ones? I don't think so. It's still big. It's unremovable, which is kind of a shame. I'm not sure about the head sculpt, if I'm honest. They've given her the big lips, but without the lipstick. So it's removed some of the pop to her face.
A little overly neutral would be how I describe it.
Yeah. It's like a death mask, isn't it? There's it's like maybe a good way to describe it is a sarcophagus tomb. You know, the how it's very smooth and expressionless, and it has just like there is literally no expression, but it's that. You just change the Princess Leia hair thing to a Egyptian pharaoh outfit, and boom, you're done. But again, for legend scale, not too bad. I like the ankle spurs to be a little bit bigger. Yes. Why? Because she does have a big backpack, so it's wise to have something. She comes with 2 goons. She has a pistol goon, and she also has a rifle goon.
A rifle goon, you say?
A rifle goon. No swords, though.
What? They're very pink.
They are very pink. It almost feels like they went, well, we've got room on the sprue. Shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tad element of that, yes.
Why do I say it like that? Because me and Mikey have both built Gundam kits, and sometimes that's how their things feel too. Now, they do have CAD model images of the Nightbird version. We don't see it in robot mode. We do see it in its weird little shoe vehicle mode thing. It does seem to be coming with more accessories, with 2 nunchaku, with 2 shurikens, like shuriken, that's for sure, 2 sai, and 2 katanas, energy blade katanas too. So arguably better value in terms of just accessory count. But yeah, what do you think, Mikey? Do you like the Amy?
I mean, I've always liked Amy. She's a nice girl.
Aw.
I mean,
nice.
You know,
nice.
Always good to hang out with, and those shirts don't make themselves.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I think she looks decent. I think she looks pretty solid. I think she looks better than some of the Studio Series ones and whatnot we've gotten. Accessories are very light, especially considering what Nightbird's going to come with.
Yeah.
Nightbird comes with a ton.
Now, unless that's reflected in the prices, of course.
Yes,
but I would be surprised if that's the case.
Did you see what I sent you today about prices, actually?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I kind of knew about the price.
Shocked me a little bit.
I was happy enough. If you wondered, we're talking about the Arachnid toy from APC?
APC, yeah.
Yeah, and it's for $40?
$50.
$50, that's what it was. Yeah, it's not a bad price, really. It's pretty decent.
It's kind of shocking for a third party that looks like to be a decent size. Now, maybe that
guessing they'll make her deluxe-y Voyager-ish scale, just to keep her in like scale with everything else that they're putting out.
I mean, it definitely makes her attractive.
Yeah, in terms of like biobibbles. Yeah.
But yeah, this is decent. Like, I like the posability. Posability looks on point for the scale.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like, at the moment, it's kind of just like another RC. I want to see how the Nightbird turns out. Like, basically, I want to see if they give her a Legends face.
Oh,
that's all I care about.
They won't, because no one respects Legends like we do. I think you and I are probably... I don't want to make this a guarantee. But I would almost stake money on the fact that we're probably the only Transformers podcast that talks as much about the Legends comics. I don't think anybody else does.
Well, look at it this way. I would, if I could find the time at the moment, suggest to Chris to let me onto WTF for a special Why Legends is the best continuity Transformers has ever had.
And why it's a fucking crime we don't have it translated in a physical format.
And why I haven't looked in a while, but I think that guy kept on translating as well. So I hope he's like continuing to do God's work.
Yeah. Why Megatron is the best Megatron.
I have such a long list. I recently reread the finale for that, where he turns into Green Megatron. I'm just like, he had the cape!
It's good, man.
Yeah, but like, it got to a point once where I was like seriously considering selling a bunch of stuff and getting the Masterpiece Nightbird. I didn't, because that toy doesn't seem to have all the MP problems.
Yeah.
But I think Nightbird looks better than RC, but I don't trust it.
There must be like better third-party Nightbirds you could go for over a Masterpiece.
Oh yeah, though, but it doesn't have a face.
That's the thing, yeah.
The one and only Legends Transformers accessory.
I wonder if they'll ever do a Nightbird that comes with like the ninja kite, or like a camouflage scroll where she hangs it in front of herself and it looks like a background of something, or a dustbin which she can trip over. That would be fun. I'd like that. I don't think it'll happen either. Yeah, so Nightbird and RC. Will this get repainted into the Paradron Medic? Maybe. Will it get redone into any of the other variations of RC, like Beast Hunter's RC? The weird TFCon exclusive one with the crazy face? I mean, maybe. I wouldn't hold your breath, though. Paradron Medic's probably the most likely.
Paradron.
I never know why people go for it, because it looks... I've never liked that
Because it's G1, Andy.
I know, I just think it looks boring. Boring. But yeah, there you go. RC. Mikey, do you want to take us on to bits and things?
Yeah, so, DNA Design have announced DK34, an upgrade kit for the Stereo Series Shatter, of all things, in both car and jet mode, and Dark of the Moon Dino, or Mirage, or whatever, the racist one.
Which one, Mikey? That could be any of them. That's not fair. Most of them. It could be most of them. That's probably more fair.
95%.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway.
yeah. So this is an add-on. So for Shatters the car Shatter, it comes with new movie accurate head. And I believe they might have done something to the chest. Did they original? No, it's just a head, because the head in the car one is absolutely dire. It's based on a really, really early concept.
Oh yeah, it looks like she's got a battle mask on.
And for the Jet Shatter, they've got new arms. So is it the whole arms? I'm just looking.
I think, is it?
Let me have a look. See, so original. They need to highlight things. Yeah, they've changed the arms completely, so they're very, very different. Have they done something to the backpack? I don't know off the top of my head. And for Dino, he's got new legs. I got new legs. Which give him ankle tilts so he can stand like a person.
Well, that's good.
So
yeah, the new part for Dino is from the knee down, and with the arms, it's from like the bicep area down. It's not like the shoulders. These don't seem to be massive improvements. I mean, for Dino, the extra leg articulation is good because he can, actually tilt his ankles and get some firm poses. So that's neat. If you really like that toy, get an extra posability out of it's never a bad thing. The new head. Okay. I mean, it's more accurate, so that's a plus. And the arms, I don't know how much better the arms are. Like, I'm looking at them, and I can't really tell how much better they are.
It's very minor. I would have rathered maybe a few additions to make the car mode a bit more screen accurate.
Is it not accurate? Is it not?
It's not perfect, to be honest. And same in a robot. Like, her robot's missing a bit of, like, the key kibble and stuff like that. So it's one of those things. So I also would have liked if the Jet maybe... I don't know. Her jet mode, I really like Jet Shatter. I've been looking for her for a while. But it's just like, doing the arms is like the least interesting thing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, like, unless it like gave them like
something more
extra bicep stuff, or like, to be honest, additional guns or something.
I would much rather see them do add-ons for the muscle car dropkick to give him the helicopter kibble.
Did we not get a helicopter dropkick?
You did, but it's atrocious. It doesn't look anything like him.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'd really rather see that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, like it's. I wouldn't get it. I'd rather if they did Dropkick, I'd be more interested. I wouldn't be that interested in Shatter.
We're still waiting for like Hasbro to do like new versions of those characters, or for like a third party to do new versions of those characters, right?
Yeah, Trumpeteer announced they were going to do it like a while ago, but they're still only just now hitting their RC, which I think they originally advertised back in like 2019.
Wow.
I might be picking up one of the Trumpeteer kits in the week. It'll depend how the week goes. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh, well, it's interesting.
I mean,
suppose
you do not have the massive boner I have for Shatter and Dropkick, so what's your thoughts?
It's very much, I look at it and go, it seems like a bit of a weak selection of things. Like you said, it doesn't seem to upgrade them massively. It seems just like a very small amalgamation of parts, which really doesn't interest me too much. I kind of look at it and go, all right. I don't see... Like, these guys do very kind of... They can do some good upgrade kits, and then other times you just look at their upgrade kits and you go, there's nothing here of real value. It's such a minor upgrade that I don't see it's worth it, and I don't think this is one of those kits that's desperately worth it for the money that you'd have to pay. But again, it comes down to personal preference. Do you like these toys? Do these upgrades really make a massive difference? If they do, go for it. To me, they seem pretty superfluous and not very interesting. So
yeah. If I think back to like the DNA, one of the early DNA design upgrade kits, for I believe what was it? It was Studio Series Grimlock, the original,
right?
The movie Grimlock. They added a lot to that figure to really improve both the robot and the Dino mode.
And it wasn't stupid expensive, was it? I mean,
no,
it was expensive, but not crazy.
No, that's a figure I probably should try and pick up at some point, but now it is stupid. Like, the main figure is stupid expensive.
Is it? Why?
Last time because it's been years since it came out, so...
Oh my god. I thought they should get cheaper.
No, Andy, you know how this works. Like, did you see the prices of Titan's Return on eBay?
No.
Holy shit.
How much did Titan's Return on eBay now?
I'm going to go into US eBay, because this is where I saw it. So it'd be eBay.com, not...
Why have they got, like... Usually, like, depending on the series, like, some series do not sell. Like, some, like, Movie 1 toys, I don't think ever go up in value, because no one wants them. I don't think any of the movie toys really gained any value. Right? Or am I crazy?
I'm sure some of them have. I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure some of them have. Oh look!
Can I sell my
crossbone
first
figure
Optimus
I was
Prime?
looking for cheap? eBay. Thank you. Ugh, sorry. You were saying?
Can I sell my first Optimus Prime and Megatron movie figures for loads of money now?
Voyager 2007 Optimus.
Leader.
We'll see.
Leader.
I thought you were saying Leader.
Yeah.
I remember liking the Voyager.
I had the Voyager. Yeah, the Voyager's not too bad. Yeah.
He can go up to 80, 125, 150. Loose 200.
For the leader Optimus Prime from the first movie?
Yep, loose 200 with a couple of mini cons.
He's terrible!
He's Optimus Prime. He attacks.
If you want to buy him from me, I'll sell it to you for like £100.
Sold. I'm looking at sold now. 60, 65.
Okay, that's
130.
Oh
75,
my god.
125.
What happened to Transformer prices? I know that it's like they're old, but I don't think they got that crazy. These are like G1 prices at one point.
Transformers Titan Return, because I heard like a lot of people try to get back into Titan's Return, and okay, so these are all selling at reasonable prices. Box set Siege and Cybertron 276. Wow. Voyager Alpha Trion. You want to guess?
No.
Make a guess.
I don't know, 80?
No, fortunately, 50.
It's still a lot for a really crappy figure.
Overlord, who was a really good figure, $80.
See, that one makes sense. I get
Here's
that.
one. Someone recently sold a Triptychon for $85.
That's actually an okay price.
Yeah, I'd actually have paid that if I had the money at the time.
I think that was kind of close to the Ross money.
Yeah.
Almost, if you change pounds to dollars, etc.
Titan's Return Nautica exclusive from the box set. How much?
Oh, that'd be expensive. That'd be like 150.
Perfect, 150.
Hey, yeah.
Titan's Return Voyager class Octone, $60.
Oh, okay.
Scout class. I remember Cosmos was selling for stupid money at the time. Scout, but now he's like $27. Slash is up to 25.
Oh my god.
Megatron up. That's quite high. So these are all the sold listings. What are they currently listed? Wow. Oh my god.
What?
Titan's Return Misfire.
150?
Close, 140.
Oh
However, there is one that sold for 155.
Oh my god.
And 117 for 117 for a loose one, missing an accessory.
What?
And it's sold.
I mean, like, he's a neat figure. I really like my Misfire.
God,
Well, I mean, I've got the Japanese version, but it's not that good.
He was a great toy. Like,
he really is.
Titan Fraternity has wonderful toys.
Yeah.
It's a great toy line. It's one I'd love to go back to.
I mean, some of them were a bit of stinkers. Like the Windblade's a little bit of a stinker.
Yeah,
in all fairness.
Yeah. Windblade's never
but
quite gotten where I need her to be. No. I'm going to stop looking at this. I'm depressed with myself. Like a couple of deluxes there going for 200.
Like which ones?
Croc.
Oh, Croc. Oh, I've got Croc. Yeah, he's really cool. He's not 200 like cool, Croc. But yeah. Oh no. Oh no. What happened to this? I know, again, like, Titan's Return was a really good line before, like, the Power of the Primes line kind of took a massive shit at the end of that series and didn't do anything good.
Well, no, I will argue. I will defend the Voyagers. Or not the Voyagers, the leaders from Power of the Primes.
Which ones?
I think the concept's fantastic.
For which ones?
I would like the Optimus, at least some version of the Optimus at some point, because I think having Orion turn into Optimus and like having a mech suit, I really like.
Yeah, I didn't like how it looked, if I remember, but I think the idea was okay. I just didn't like the overall combined form, generally.
Rodimus, I like the idea. I think the engineering let that one down.
I mean, it was better than like the last Rodimus we got.
Oh yeah,
in terms of price,
better value for money. Although they're the same price now because no one's buying it. Because I am still shocked to go into Smith's and see the toy down from 150.
Apparently, you can be picking up some legacy stuff from game stores. Apparently, people have been seeing like Blaster on like heavy discount.
I haven't seen most of Legacy Wave 1, but I did see Buzzsaw, Sandstorm, and Night Prowler.
Oh, the weird like buy-hour repaints, kind of
on
not
sale.
Really part of it.
On sale for 20.
Really?
They're €20 each.
I wonder how much that is. How much is that down from normal price?
About 5.
Okay, I mean, some of those molds are okay, and I think some of the color schemes are interesting.
I was kind of like, if I hadn't bought the Jurassic stuff recently, I was gonna maybe get either Sandstorm or Buzzsaw. I'm in one of the big cities down the country on Wednesday, so I might try and pick one up. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But anyway, so
get it for the show. We need content.
So, anyway, basically, if you like DNA designs, buy the most recent stuff, or else you'll get very depressed.
No shit. Wow. Shall I move on, Mikey? Unless we got anything else, yeah?
Please do.
All right, well, we have 3 bits of news. I forgot to give one piece to Mikey because it's so bland that I forgot to give it to him. I'll start off with it. Mikey, did you see the possible first look rumors at the Legacy Clampdown figure?
Can I lodge a complaint? At bloody
Andy.
It's not you. I'm just like what whoever it is on TFW. Whoever it is on TFW who keeps doing this is like when they used to make those weird defensive stuff about movie toys because they thought people were being mean to them. So and now it's possible legacy leak? Yes, it's a legacy fucking leak. We've seen a full gallery of the fucking thing over on Dime Chalk's Facebook. Yes, it's a fucking leak. Can we just call it what it is?
I mean, it might be a knockoff.
Every single one of... They did it with Shockwave as well. And every single one of these possibly is just or literally...
Yeah, the Shockwave, which we're going to talk about, is literally in a packaging. But yeah possible. Can you see why I accidentally forgot to add this to the story, Mikey? If you don't know, Clampdown is a redo of Red Alert into his diaclone colors, which are white. So he's just a prowl color scheme. He's just using the Red Alert mold. I used to think diaclone was neat, but
Diaclone. You'd say it like that.
But I'm getting at this point kind of annoyed with it, like I am with season 1 and 2 of G1, because it's just because we're doing Red Alert again, Guess who we're going to pull out? We're going to put... Every time we are using one of these early Season 1 characters, we instantly go and do a diaclone version of them. And every iteration of that diaclone version as well. So I've seen... And again, I don't mind the diaclones, but they're not the most interesting color schemes, generally speaking. Some of them are, like Ultra Magnus. He's got a really good diaclone color scheme. I like his. But like Clampdown is a really good example of a bland one. The Sunstreaker one, the white one, which is just like, well, it's a white Sunstreaker. The black and blue side swipe is like, yep, that's a black and blue side swipe. Sure. I'm just kind of really blasé on it. Unless Mikey, you're really up for it.
Clampdown is kind of just like, what if Sideswipe was Pearl?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not that interesting, I would say, at the end of the day. You could make it more interesting by giving him a new head sculpt, but that wouldn't be toy accurate.
No, like it's one of those. It came from an era where everything was diaclone.
Yes, yeah,
I get it, but it's just never been a thing for me.
If you want to sell me on Clampdown, give him the what were they called from animated, the paratrooper, the police officer dudes.
Auto troopers.
The auto troopers. Give him an auto trooper head, and maybe like mold one of his hands so he's holding a badge. That'd be cool, right? So then he's always holding like a police badge, so he could go dead or alive, you're coming with me, kind of thing. They wouldn't do that because again, it's not sticking to the original version of the character, but it would make it visually a bit more interesting. But that's not the point of the figure, so I should shut the fuck up about it. Now another possible reveal that we got to see recently was the Legacy Ransack figure.
Yeah,
Ransack is one of the least talked about figures. Well, not least talked about figures, but whenever there's a Insecticon that comes out, I go, Deluxe Insecticons when?
I
never follow through.
I like the Deluxe Insecticons more than I like the regular Insecticons.
Same. They all had an interesting color scheme.
Yep.
And then there's Venom, who had a completely unique insect mode compared to the other ones, which could just be transferred.
If I remember right.
He was a cicada.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get done, unfortunately.
I think you could, but I don't think any of them are getting done, because I think if this is coming in a multi-pack like it's the rumor, I think this is a one-off. Fuck off, Craig.
Oh, did Craig break?
Craig broke.
Anyway. Oh, well, as long as the first part works, then I can line up the tracks. It's all good. Doesn't matter.
Hopefully. We'll try our luck. If not, we still have a mark. Craig, I'm going to see if there's any other options for you on Discord. But yeah, so I think, I don't think we're going to get the other... I don't think we're going to get Barrage and Chop Chop.
That's bullshit.
I
hate them doing this shit.
I would like it. I think you could... By the way, I think you could do Venom, but he'd have to be a retool of either Shrapnel or Bombshell. Probably Bombshell.
Yeah.
But it could be done.
And obviously with Chop Chop and Barrage, you just do Shrapnel and Bombshell.
Yeah.
And you only do the heads and boom, they're done. So yeah, if you didn't know, Ransack is a head retool and a recolor of Kickback into another Grasshopper. The Deluxe Insecticons, as they were called, if you didn't know. I think I agree with Mikey, had a really interesting color scheme. He is still coming with Kickback's weird Energon thing. I don't even know what you call them. The big extra parts.
They look a lot better in Ransack's colors than the clear plastic.
Yes, but they are in clear plastic. They're just painted over, which is fucking stupid.
Definitely, but I think they look better than just clear.
Yes, I would agree.
They look like
I
weapons
can see what they
now.
were going for. I can see what they were going for with Ransack's thing, with Kickback's thing, but I still don't know what these are or what they're meant to be, because they don't look like anything.
I think they're supposed to give either the impression of the carapace that a lot of insects have over their wings, or it's supposed to be the impression of wings flapping.
I don't think it works well for either.
Then again, I also think it could be because it could be a reference back to Fall of Cybertron, where the wings were just ridiculous.
I guess, but I don't think it came across desperately well.
No,
if you want to give them weird, stupid Energon weapons, fine. My main issue, if people wondered what my issue is with them, it's that unless you have them on even on the wings, they look stupid. But if you don't have them on the wings, they are awkward and don't seem to be able to be held desperately well. You can plug them together in a really awkward way. They seem to have no point to them. But I guess that's neither here nor there. Ransack, the figure himself, looks good. My only real issue with it is it has that typical yellow plastic issue of there are two colliding colors of yellow that do not match. He has his molded plastic yellow, and then for his groin area and the top of his hips, it is clearly a painted yellow, and it's very, very standy-outy. Apart from that, he looks great. Really happy to see him. Like the head mold. Looks like the antenna on his head might be posable a little bit. I don't know how much, but yeah. I really want to see the other deluxe Insecticons done, because I think they're all very interesting looking characters.
I mean, presumably, like, they've got this attitude, they've said they've got this attitude of we're going to complete sets, so presumably, like, Shrapnel and Bombshell will be done, and maybe down the line they'll get retooled, but I don't think it's going to be a priority.
I mean, they've said that, but if we remember, like, we got a chop shop for Titan's Return. A legend scale.
Yeah, it was a little legend boy.
Yeah, and nothing was done with
but
that.
He was a retool of Shrapnel.
Shrapnel.
If I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah,
he was.
Was it Scrapnel then? I don't know.
No, it's Shrapnel. Just don't placate them. It's Shrapnel. Just because they can't get the license for it doesn't mean we have to stop calling them by the right names.
Yeah, I always think these days, whenever I think about the main three Insecticons, I'm always amused by the fact that in Cyberverse they're all just basically the body is all Shrapnel, but they're still Kickback and Bombshell. But they're just different colored. Like one's green and one's pink.
I did like in that show how there were lots of just random colors for the Insecticons. Some of the colors that they picked for them were really kind of neat. I liked at least. I like this guy a lot more than Kickback. I think he looks better. Same. I've got Kickback on pre-order.
Cool.
Because I'd like to get them before he's like £200, I guess, in the future. I guess this is the world that we live in now. So yeah, I want to make sure that I get him, and I definitely would like to get Ransack as well. Do we know who he's meant to be in a pack with?
Okay, so they've said,
right?
They've said it's going to be toy version of Scorponok, which we've seen.
Okay.
The Parasite, who's like a purple repaint of Waspinator.
That's right. We talked about that pack, yeah.
And Goldbug, who they think is going to be a standard repaint of the Shattered Glass retool.
Okay.
So, I don't know why you wouldn't just get the Shattered Glass retool if you're going down that road, but because it would probably cost about as much. Yeah, so...
So wait, are you saying that's going to be a 4-pack?
Yeah, like that random. I think. Can you guess what line it's going to be under?
Oh,
say it, Andy.
Oh no,
I
don't want it.
Say it.
Buzzworthy.
Buzzworthy Bumblebee.
The stupid line that doesn't make any fucking sense. I guess the thing is, there's going to be at least 3 figures in that pack that I'd want or like be interested in. I only really want Ransack, but like The repaint of the other 2 figures I'm okay with. The Goldbug seems random. I don't know how easy I don't think the Buzzworthy things really come into our stores, do they? I haven't seen them in Smith's before. At least not the big multi-pack that came out previously, right? Did we get those here?
No, God, no.
No, I didn't think so. I know we got some Buzzworthy stuff. We just didn't get that pack. Maybe it was too big. I don't know. Either way, Ransack might be an anus to get in the future. Who knows? And the other possible rumor, which isn't a rumor, is the first look. It says rumor, possible first look at the Legacy Shockwave figure. So yeah, we have another Legacy core Shockwave figure. This is a small legend scale Shockwave figure that transforms into his spaceship gun, oddly enough, from Siege, right? Siege? Wolf Cybertron Siege. The Super Shockwave. The one that we both liked, that neither of us got. Oh no, you got him.
No, I did.
Because he doesn't turn into his gun form.
No, I'm trying. So yeah, it is Siege. It is Siege.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he transforms into his siege form, but he also has, for some reason, in his other hand, a radar gun. For some reason, it looks fine. I don't know why we're getting many core class shockwaves at the moment, because we in the same kind of region. We also got the movie Bumblebee Shockwave, who was a core class figure as well, recently-ish. Mikey, any thoughts on core class Shockwave apart from why is there another core class Shockwave?
He looks. I like his little radar thing.
It's weird though, right? Why's he got a radar thing? That's not a shockwavy thing, right?
Don't know.
It's odd. It's a weird choice.
Yeah, it's neat. It kind of reminds me of like why is Reflector a satellite?
I don't know. Anything else you got to say on that, Mr. Mikey? Or is that about it?
I'm good.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Do you want to take us on to the last few bits of news then?
Yeah. So, Transformers 2007 is back in cinemas.
Okay.
Yay!
Well, I was more horrified by how long it's been since the first movie came out. That's what scared me the most.
Yeah, you're old, Andy.
So are you, Mikey?
I don't care about it being old. I'm a paleontologist. It's all relative. But, so yeah, 15 years since the premiere of the very first live-action Transformers movie, and now you can have a chance to watch it back in theaters. It is showing in an event hosted by Fathom Events, who also handled the re-airing of the 86 movie last year. And it will be in theaters for a few days starting on July 10th this year. Some possible people involved might be Regal, AMC, and Phoenix Theatre websites. Fandango's on there as well, but they don't count. So if you have a lot of nostalgia for that film, which admittedly a lot of people do, because a lot of people haven't seen it since it aired, go watch it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I will not be joining you, because even if it was airing, I have seen it a fair few times since it originally came out, and I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not more complicated than that.
If somebody said, hey, they're gonna air the extended version of Lord of the Rings in the cinemas again, I'd be, son, I'd want to go and see that. I'd want to go and see Lord of the Rings on the big screen again. Fuck yeah. The Transformers movie, no, I'm all right. I saw it a few times originally at the cinema when it originally came out. I don't need to see it again. I'm all right. I remember at one point looking at my DVD shelf and going, "Oh yeah, I have some of these movies on Blu-ray, don't I?" I'm never gonna watch these, but I can't sell them because no one wants them. Yeah. I'm sure it's good for someone, though. For someone who's just getting into the franchise and who didn't get the chance to see it on the big screen but really loves it, that's great for them. They're going to be able to see it on the big screen. And it's always better to see movies on the big screen, I would say. Better experience.
Yes, I would always say the bigger the screen, the better.
Yeah. Well, what's the last bit of news, Mikey?
So JPB, Jean-Paul Beauvais, as we call him, is going to be attending TF Nation 2022. So he, of course, is a colorist for IDW and has done a little bit of writing and everything else, and has worked on lots of different things at this stage. And yeah, he's going to be a guest. He's going to be there August 12th to 14th at the Hilton Birmingham Metropole Home Hotel. I won't be making it this year just because timing didn't work out for when I started getting money coming back in. But JPB is a fine and terrifying man, and is worth your time and money.
Oh, that's nice.
But he's a monster.
That's about right. All right, that's all of our news. I guess we're done, Mr. Mikey. The question, of course, is, Mikey, what have you done for fun, son? This week, I mean.
So not a ton, if I'm honest. Work, again, kind of kicking my ass. So I'm going to go through these pretty quick. Kamen Rider Revice I watched today. That was an interesting one. Kind of building on the whole thing that Daiji is just being dragged through the shit at the moment and teasing the final form. Not much else there apart from a character dies and then a character returns. I won't say anything else about that. So yeah, it continues to be cool. It's continuing to be a well-directed show. I think Revice is something I'm going to have to take a little bit of time when it ends to see how I feel the whole animal plays out. Because I had a thought during the week, and I want to see if it's confirmed, because I feel like around episode 25, a producer put their finger in somewhere and changed one or two things.
Oh, really? Okay.
But, yeah, haven't watched me anime. I did watch an episode of Digimon Ghost Game. I am behind. But it was, oh boy, they're back into the horror of, like, cannibalism and people being eaten and then really wanting to be eaten and being really unambiguous about the whole being eaten thing.
Hang on, what do you mean they want to be eaten?
Well, the want to eat... Oh, sorry, I phrased that. Want to eat.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. You said want to be eaten, and I was like, you what now?
A really interesting comparison of a really friendly Digimon who really wants to eat all your human friends, but is really friendly about it.
Oh, well, that's
like,
nice.
Really casual about it.
Yeah.
I continue my Jurassic watch, so I've rewatched Jurassic World, have put my thoughts on that on Twitter, and I've rewatched season 1 of Camp Cretaceous. I haven't put my thoughts up for that yet, but basically haven't really changed. I think the first 3 episodes are kind of weak. I think the second half of the show is very strong. So I'll be curious to see how I feel about seasons 2 to 4. 4 I'm not looking forward to, but and yeah, that's basically been my week. I haven't done much. Like, I've got all my animes and everything lined up, but like, just shift work, man.
Damn, son.
What about you?
Well, I picked up Stargate SG-1 on DVD since the Blu-ray was stupidly expensive, and who fucking knows if or when the UK will get a release, because it wasn't an American version, and I wasn't willing to spend $170 to run the risk of it not working on our players. So I've started watching SG-1 again. First 3 episodes, they still are strong. They hold up well. They're interesting and fun. The 4th episode, the one with Kerry Hidegawa, I think his name is, the guy that played Shang Tsung, is what we call a Groppler episode, shall we say. It's a very flat, boring episode where it's just, hey, Mongol tribe, we don't respect women here. Sam Carter's like, I'm a woman. Yeah. I'm strong and powerful. And Shang Tsung's like, ha ha ha, women being warriors. Make me a sandwich or I'll rape you. And it's like, okie dokie, fun times. And then she beats him in a fight at the end. It's like, that's the episode. It's very flat, very uninteresting. They have a few episodes which are just kind of very season 1-y, of there not being anything very good, but they do have some quite good ones as well, like when a crystal takes the form of Jack O'Neill, and it basically tells you the backstory of his son shooting himself and dying, and Jack's relationship with his ex-wife, and all that jazz. So that's quite a good little episode. It's not the best, it's okay. And then the episode I watched last night was the introduction of the Nox, the advanced race of weird, like, twig people, I'll call them. And it's got Armin Zimmerman in. Is it Armin Zimmerman? The guy that plays Quark? That's his name?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he's one of the Nox, so it's nice to see him. I like that episode. That was actually a really good episode. Just going back through SG-1, I'm like, yeah, this is still a very good and fun show, and would recommend, even though I'm on season 1, and it's a bit rough. It kind of caught me by surprise. Episode 1 had Charray just get her tits out, and a puss as well. That was a bit of a surprise.
Was that on it?
That was on it.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. That got that was like what channel were they on? They were on CBS or something like that. And
we had them on Sky. Apparently, Matt told me that at first it was on Channel 4 here. Then we got it on Sky 1. I don't know how it was for Ireland, of course.
Same, because we had your channels. But originally, when it aired, they were basically trying to draw in the crowd of like, we're not Star Trek. So they got the actress and said, like, are you willing to be full frontal nudity? And they was like, yeah, sure. But then looking back in it, they said, like, this is just completely counter to the spirit of our show. So
it is weird because it feels super out of place, and it's also weird because previously the reason she gets in the buff is she's to be chosen to be the host of one of the aliens. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And previously there was another actress or another woman who gets stripped down but doesn't have full frontal nudity.
No.
So she clearly was like, I don't want to do full frontal nudity.
Yeah.
But she got she obviously on the set had her clothes taken off for the and then shot from behind for the shot. But no, Shara is just full bush, full landing strip, and wabs there. It's like, oh
yeah, they basically, the creators asked for it to be removed from subsequent airings before it moved over to shows like Sci-Fi and Sky, where it couldn't actually air like that.
I mean, I was gonna say, if you want to be cynical, the reason you do that is so that it can be shown at any time.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
they said they didn't like it because they said we
True,
fucked up.
yeah.
We fucked up.
Yeah.
Basically, they described that was an early mistake.
As far as I'm aware, it's the only time they ever do something like that.
Yes, it's
like,
the only time in
we
the whole
say,
show.
Very out of place. It's just like, what? I mean, okay, but what? Okay. fair enough. It's not Game of Thrones, which I'm very happy about.
Don't get me started.
But if it was done in this era, there would have been a lot more nudity and probably incest, I guess. But if you haven't seen Stargate SG-1, I recommend it. I think it is, so far, rewatching it, it's still very fun. Still a very fun show, and I haven't even got to the good shit either. So, yeah, it's fun. Apart from that, I've been playing Warhammer Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters, and that's been fun. Turn-based XCOM-like game. So if you like XCOM and you like Warhammer, you play as the Grey Knights, who are specialized space marines going after demons. Unlike the rest of the space marines who are like, fucking deal with any problem that come up, these guys are like, okay, we'll deal with the kind of crazy warp stuff. Premise is there is a disease being let upon a small sector of the galaxy, and you've got to quell the disease. There's actually 5 strains that you find. Each are metaphysical, or some of them are metaphysical diseases that get more potent with the fear that they cause. Some of them just cause outright pain. Some of them spread like a normal disease. Some of them do other weird stuff, because they come from a demon dimension, so they do all weird stuff, plaguey related. You can rot perpetually and not actually die from it, but be in constant agony, etc., etc., Good old Nurgle stuff. But like I say, it plays like an XCOM game, so if you like base building and then going into the turn-based strategy, shooting things, this is a game for you. I'm really enjoying it. It's good. A lot of the XCOM-like games that come out after XCOM, I know there was one called Desperado, but I just don't care about playing a Wild West game. I played Red Dead Redemption and was kind of on it. And generally, the Wild West, just real-life setting video games don't do it for me, and a lot of the turn-based XCOM games are based like that, so I'm like, I'm good.
I like Red Dead 2 to watch, but that's because I think it's actually a good story. I've never been interested in playing it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not a fan of generally the GTA style of game. It's a fancier version of Skyrim, and we both have our issues with those games.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have I done anything else? I'm looking on my desk. I don't think I've got anything else. No, my big purchase was obviously Stargate, because that's like 10 seasons. It's 60 discs.
Yeah, I was actually a little, because you only mentioned like, I might get that. And like, okay, cool. He'll get on to me in a week and say like, oh, I'm shopping around. And he's like, nope, this is the best price I could find. We're buying it. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I think for the full set of 60 discs, it was like 40 to 50 pounds. No, it's probably 50 to 60 pounds. 50 to 60 pounds. And I think for 60 DVDs, that's not bad, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, there are worse things.
Yeah, it'll keep me going for a while. I'm doing 1 episode a night, effectively. Sometimes I've done 2, but for the most part, I'll probably be only able to do 1 episode a night. So that's a lot of nights that I'll be covered by, which is good. And that's really been about it. I got to see my buddy Matt. That was fun. I like to go around and see him. We ordered in one of his delicious burgers from his burger place. As it salivated my mouth.
I thought you were about to say something about like one of his delicious movies, and I was like, hang on, I've heard about his taste of films.
What did we watch? We did watch something.
Hang on, you should show him Miko doing the wrestling.
Nah, he wouldn't be interested in it.
I'm just saying, like, it is his world.
He's actually getting really annoyed with how bad WWE's getting. And when I say bad, I don't mean just like the storytelling. I mean like the gouging. They are really gouging people. When I went to WrestleMania 22 and 23, I think it was about what was it? Fifth row from the stage. It was about 1,000 per ticket. If you want to get that now, I think he said it's how dumb. I think it was getting close to 10,000. So it's like 10 times the amount than what I paid back in the day. I like going to WrestleMania for those two events, but it does not seem to be worth it now, at the very least. But some people can find the logic in spending that much money, and if that's how you want to spend it, that's fair enough. But 1,000 was a lot for me. It still is a lot for me, but more than that, I don't know, bro. I'd have to have some of the attractive female wrestlers suck me off if I'm going to have to pay that much.
I don't know this man. I've never met him, and his statements are whatever. Also, I don't remember who the current female wrestlers are, so I can't really contribute because I haven't watched wrestling since
if I'm paying
2005.
10K, if I'm paying 10K, I want someone to suck my dick. That's all I'm saying.
Right? We could get Triple H.
I think no, he'd have to pay me. Because I don't really find Triple H attractive. I'm sorry to say, he's not my kind.
I think he looked better with the hair.
Yeah. I mean, he's had to stop wrestling because he had a heart attack, so he's completely done with wrestling. He's not running it anymore either. He's going to take care of his family, which is fair. He's got like 2 daughters, so
I was gonna say, isn't his family like deeply ingrained in wrestling?
Yeah, Stephanie's not doing anything now either. She's pulling out completely.
Oh,
as well.
I thought it was going to be like she'd like come back and it's like, listen, you have to hear about what happened at work today. I'm just like, oh God, please, I had a heart attack. I don't want to do it.
No, I think they both have enough money that they're just like, nah, fuck it. We need to focus on keeping the family alive. And Triple H being a wrestler, one can probably assume his lifespan is probably shorter than most. Just because of how the wrestling business kind of kills people, shall we say, just because of the lifestyle. But yeah, that's one of those things, ain't it? Right. I think we're done. Does Mikey have any questions for us?
No, not this week. It's a quiet one.
A quiet one, he says. All right. I'll need to have a quick check on the Facebook page because I don't think I've got any message. But I could be wrong. Let's have a quick look. We got a message from Christoph, which he sent us a video about. Looks like they made D&D subclass for Mikey. It is called Druid, Circle of the Primeval in D&D Unearthed Arcane Giant Options.
I'm like I said, D&D. I'm currently playing a bard who has polymorph and won't stop turning into dinosaurs. Every combat, I just turn into a dinosaur, and they're just like, but we need you to use magic. We need you to use healing. I'm a dinosaur now.
Why don't you turn into Miko Dene?
Because I'd have to explain to them who Miko Dene is, and like what would she be? I want her to be like some like eldritch horror.
Kaiju. Yeah, a kaiju.
But that means you'd need like a different spell.
Why? It's polymorph.
Polymorph lets you turn into non-sentient creatures.
What the fuck do you think Miko Dene is?
Oh no, she's alive. She is fully sentient.
I don't know if she's sentient.
There is evil.
I think she's more of a force than she is a sentient
but like
being.
you have to, what's it called? True polymorph you use to turn into anything, or turn anyone into anything, or like turn a rock into anything. So like if I get that, I am planning to fully abuse it. Like, and now I'm going to turn this rock into like the strongest dragon in the game.
Could you turn it into a rock but with boobs?
Yes,
or
Miko Dene. Like, behold, Miko Dene, and small Ame, and just like, and now enjoy. And like, what are their powers? Whatever the fuck they want.
You should make your group really uncomfortable by just randomly changing random objects that have no purpose just into the same object, just with boobs.
I like
What's
the
that
idea.
rock? Why is that rock got boobs? Why does this tree have boobs? Why does this bush have boobs? Mikey just there.
Nature,
Everything
bitch.
will have boobs. It's evolution. This is how it works.
Rocks don't evolve. Well, clearly they do.
This rock has evolved to have boobs, so I don't know what you're talking about. Are you a doctor? I am. Doctor of Boobology. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and of course you can contact us on the Moonbase 2 on Twitter and Facebook and Libsyn and moonbase2@gmail.com and everywhere else. And what about you, Andy?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube as Decayed Andy, as in the decaying corpse of a foul, disgusting person, rather than a decade, as in 10 years. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're on patreon.com/Moonbase2. If you do $2 each month, we do the extended version from the Files of Teletran 2. Or at this point, I suppose now we do the specialized show from the Files of Teletran 2 where we talk about comics. Because we don't want to do the comics at the moment, effectively. We'll talk about anything comic-wise.
I have new audio for you for that, actually.
Oh, shit. And we also do the Moonbase Woo-Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things in more detail. And the Jurassic Park episode will go up hopefully tomorrow. Alongside the Moonbase 2. So, with that being said... Oh, we're also on ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go there. Right. Thank you, Mikey, for joining me for the Poopcast.
I am happy to be here, Andy, and for informing you of the wonders of nature and D&D, which I've only just discovered in the last 6 months, but I'm really enjoying.
Did you not know about D&D previously?
Yes, but I couldn't find an online group to play with.
Oh, it's an online group. Oh, okay.
Yes, because it started in the middle of COVID.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, and until next time, everybody, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time for more Moon Poop in action.
Poop. I don't know. I'm not clever. Andy's the clever one.
I keep shitting myself.
You are now leaving Moonbase